Today, we are ranking 7 no-limit city slots, from best to worst, honest verdicts on one of the most important providers in the high volatility category. Number 1. Deadwood, best overall package. Deadwood is the best no-limit city slot ever made, and the reason is that it succeeds at every level simultaneously: base game, feature quality, RTP, visual presentation, and mechanical depth. The 6x4 grid with X-Nudge wilds delivers genuine action between bonus triggers. The mode choice at the feature trigger, high noon free spins for frequency, dead or alive. Free spins for the 40,000 times ceiling gives the player a meaningful decision that changes what the session is. The 96.04% RTP is strong for this volatility tier. The base game is the best in the no-limit catalog for players who value session engagement independently of bonus frequency. Every element of the game's design is coherent and serves the overall experience. No other no-limit city title delivers this combination across all categories simultaneously. Tip: the mode selection at the Deadwood feature trigger is the most consequential decision in the game. High noon free spins and dead or alive. Free spins are not slightly different versions of the same thing. They are different games. Know which one serves your session objective before the trigger resolves. Number 2. Tombstone RIP, best X-Nudge implementation. Tombstone RIP is the definitive X-Nudge slot in No-Limit City's catalog, and narrowly edges the original Tombstone through its expanded mechanical execution. The Dead or Alive, free spins mode with unlimited retriggers and sticky accumulating X-Nudge wilds is the best single feature in the provider's portfolio. The X-Nudge mechanic is more legible here than in any other no-limit game. You can see the multiplier building in real time as the wild nudges down, which makes the moment of a high multiplier wild landing one of the most satisfying events in modern slot play. The 50,000 times maximum win is reachable through a clearly logical mechanical path. The gap between Tombstone RIP and number 3 on this list is significant. Tip: in Tombstone, RIP's dead or alive free spins, each retrigger carries the locked X-Nudge wilds and their accumulated multipliers into the extended spins. The multiplier value on existing locked wilds when a retrigger fires is the most important figure in reading where the feature is heading, not the win total from spins already completed. Number 3. San Quentin X-Ways, highest ceiling available. San Quentin X-Ways holds the highest maximum win in the No-Limit City catalog at 150,000 times, and is the correct choice for players whose session goal is exclusively chasing the game's upper range. The X-Ways expansion, compounding with X-Nudge wild multipliers, is the most mechanically ambitious interaction in any no-limit title. The reason it sits third rather than first is session experience. Between the ceiling-producing events, San Quentin X-Ways produces little. The base game is thin, the variance is extreme even by no-limit standards, and the sessions where the X-Ways X-Nudge interaction produces extraordinary results require a level of budget commitment that makes it inaccessible to most players as a regular session game. The ceiling is real. Getting there requires accepting the cost. Tip: the X-Ways and X-Nudge mechanics interact multiplicatively, not additively. Understanding that an X-Nudge wild multiplier applies to all the expanded symbol positions created by simultaneous X-Ways symbols is the single most important piece of mechanical knowledge before your first San Quentin session. Number 4. Mental, extreme volatility done correctly. Mental is the most extreme volatility offering in the No-Limit City catalog and deserves its ranking as the 4th best game, precisely because it executes its extreme design intention correctly. The 80,000 times maximum win through X-bomb chain reactions in the X-Crazy bonus is mechanically coherent. The chain logic is clear. The compounding explosion system is well designed, and the game delivers exactly what it promises. The reason it sits 4th rather than higher is that what it promises is a session experience most players will find unsustainable. The binary outcome structure, extraordinary or negligible, is not a flaw in the design, but it limits who mental is appropriate for. For the specific player who wants maximum ceiling and accepts maximum variance, Mental is the correct NoLimit title. For everyone else, Deadwood or Tombstone RIP serves better. Tip: Mental's session budget should be calculated as a number of feature activations rather than a number of base game spins. The base game between bonus triggers is not where Mental produces results. Multiple feature activations are the minimum sample required to evaluate what the X-Bomb chain mechanic can deliver. Number 5. Fire in the Hole. X-Bomb, strong mechanic, limited session. Appeal Fire in the Hole. X-Bomb is a mining-themed slot with a dynamite-driven X-Bomb mechanic that produces compelling individual events, but a less coherent session experience than the top 3 entries on this list. The X-Bomb explosions that chain across the grid during the bonus round deliver moments of genuine drama, and the maximum win ceiling is competitive within the NoLimit catalog. The gap between Fire in the Hole X-Bomb and the titles above, it comes down to base game engagement and feature frequency. The game produces fewer memorable base game events per session than Deadwood or Tombstone RIP, and the bonus triggers less frequently relative to its budget cost. It is a strong game. It is not as strong as what sits above it. Tip: Fire in the Hole. X-Bomb's most significant results come from X-Bomb chains that extend across multiple columns before the final win resolves. A chain that terminates after one explosion produces a minor result. A chain that propagates across 4 or 5 columns before settling is the event the bonus is built around. Evaluating individual feature activations against only 1 or 2 chain results is insufficient. Multiple triggers are required to sample the full range. Number 6. Punk Rocker. Important but dated. Punk Rocker introduced the X-Ways mechanic to the market and remains historically significant as the game that proved X-Ways was commercially viable. As a current session choice, it sits 6th on this list because it has been functionally surpassed by San Quentin X-Ways, which took the same mechanic and delivered it in a more refined and higher ceiling form. Punk Rocker's base game is the most engaging in the lower half of this ranking, and the X-Ways expansion events still produce the satisfying grid restructuring that made the mechanic notable. For a player who wants to understand where the X-Ways format originated, Punk Rocker is the correct game. As the primary slot for an ongoing session, San Quentin X-Ways is the better vehicle for the same mechanic. Tip: Punk Rocker's X-Ways. Expansion compounds when multiple X-Ways symbols land simultaneously, the same principle that drives San Quentin X-Ways. If you play Punk Rocker to understand the X-Ways format before moving to San Quentin, the mechanical literacy transfers directly. The expansion logic is identical across both titles. Number 7. El Paso Gunfight. X-Nudge. Entry-level, appropriate expectations. El Paso Gunfight. X-Nudge is the most accessible no-limit city slot on this list, and the correct entry point for players new to the provider's mechanics. The X-Nudge Wild system operates in its standard form without the dead or alive free spins depth of Deadwood, or the re-trigger accumulation of Tombstone RIP. The base game delivers the X-Nudge Wild experience clearly, the feature triggers at a reasonable frequency, and the overall session volatility is lower than any other game on this list. The reason it sits 7th is not that it is a bad game, it is that every player who enjoys El Paso Gunfight X-Nudge should immediately move to Deadwood, which delivers the same mechanic at a higher level of execution in every relevant dimension. It is a starting point, not a destination. Tip: El Paso Gunfight X-Nudge is the correct game if Deadwood's volatility or session budget requirements are currently beyond what you want to commit to. Use it to understand the X-Nudge Wild mechanic, how the multiplier builds as the wild nudges, how the feature uses sticky wilds, and treat that knowledge as preparation for the games higher on this list.